Hello, everyone. I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com, and I'm late. I'm very late today, and I apologize. Excuses. The holidays. That's that should just do it, right? I don't know. I got a new curling thing for my hair, a flat iron that curls my hair, and I didn't realize that I needed to give myself time to learn how to turn it on and use it. So what usually takes like 20 minutes took me 30. So that's the reason why I'm 8 minutes late. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Anyways, hello everyone. What day is it? It's Wednesday, December 15th at 11 a.m. Central Time as I'm coming to you live on YouTube. And I'm so glad that you are with me and that you stuck around for those extra 8 minutes. A big welcome to Trisha Joseph. She's the one who's got the wrench symbol next to her name in the live feed. You can see that she's already commented a few times to let people know, how to comment and how to tag her and where you can find a list of today's supplies, the products that I'm going to be using in the demonstration. So a big welcome and a big thank you to Trisha Josephs. Hello, Trisha. Thanks for being there. Okay, today, what are we going to do? We are going to share some gift wrapping stuff. We're going to do tags. So I'm going to create with you 5 different tags. And these are things that you don't have to rush out to go and buy products for if you're already a paper crafter. Now, I'm going to be using the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine on pretty much all of them because we're going to be doing embossing, like a dry embossing type of thing. So if you don't have that tool, well, maybe you want to go get that. But you can also just, keep this information for maybe next Christmas or, future tags for other gifts for other seasons. But I'm going to teach you something. This idea actually got generated from a conversation that I was having on Facebook with Terry Smith, and she and I were trying to figure out how to do some embossing with the masks. And so I started playing around with all of these little plates that you get with your Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, and we figured it out. So a big thank you to Terry Smith for initiating this demonstration today. So on that note, I've also noticed that a lot of my equipment is out of place for some reason. I don't know why. So if anything looks off, I apologize. I, again, rushed down here and I'm like, oh my gosh, this has to be adjusted. Yeah, it was crazy. You guys should see me before these things start. I wish I could be on there having conversations with all of you because it looks like you're having a great time. So a big hello to those of you who are with us again. Hi, Rose. Hi, Susan. Hi, Pat. Hello, Margarita. Good to see all of you. And I think that's it as far as the things that I need to tell you. Comments from last time, I don't have screenshots of those. I have been reading through them. I just haven't taken time to screenshot them to share them with you. But I appreciate all of your tips that you give. I love it when you tell me where you're from. I love it when you tell me what you're doing at the same time while you're watching, how long you've been a paper crafter. If you have questions, make sure that you're emailing me. That's the most direct way to get in touch with me. In fact, today I was just talking on the phone with somebody and I said, I think I check my email like 24 times a day. And actually, that's not an exaggeration. If I'm not out running errands, I'm at home, I'm checking that email. So reach out to me that way if you need to get in touch with me right away. Okay, so on that note, let's see if there's anything else. We're going to do a prize drawing, so make sure that if you have something to say, you say it during the live. If you're watching after the live, comment in the comment section below the video so that you can get entered into the after prize drawing. What are we going to do? Here we go. Let's share the desktop. So, oh, thanks, Linda. So yes, I got a new flat iron, and I have to tell you, so if you follow me or you're friends with me on Facebook or whatever, I just posted yesterday about this new flat iron because I ordered it on Amazon after lots of research and actually a few years of agonizing because I wasn't sure if I wanted to get something other than the brand that I had, and I could not find the one that I wanted to, the one that I was using already because it was 33 years old. So I was using a brand that was very, very old, and it stuck, but it stuck with me for a long time. What I'm putting out here are masks. Let's see here. We'll just show the one that we're going to be using. Masks, dies. Let's see. Let's do this one. And embossing folders. So we're going to be embossing with all of these today. And we need to just change the sandwich in the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine in order to emboss with all of them. Now this makes sense, right? These are our embossing folders. These are actually the 3D ones. We have regular ones and we have 3D ones. So there's a different thickness to them. And so there's a different sandwich. When I say sandwich, I'm talking about these platforms here that you get with your machine. So you get a base platform, you get the die adapter platform, you get a couple cutting mats, and you also get platform number 4, which is great for the 3D embossing folders. So you understand those probably if you've been a paper crafter and you own this machine. Stampin' Up! Has some dies, not a lot of them, but some dies where there's a gap in the die, detailed dies areas, so that it's allowing you to emboss at the same time that you die cut. But we have issues with shipping, as do most companies around the world right now. And there's a shipping issue with the, I forget what they're called. Let me look them up. Hang on. It's a product that's showing in the catalog, but you can't get it yet. It's called the number 8 Impressions Mats. So this is what you're supposed to use when you want to do some pressing into the dies against the paper to give, it gives it a little bit more cushion, so it allows the embossed areas of the dies to come through. Because we don't have that yet, and because I use only Stampin' Up! Products, I am going to show you how to do that with this particular die. There's another one that I have in my possession. Again, not all dies have this die cutting and embossing aspect within the die itself. And then I'm going to show you how to do it with the, these are called masks, decorative masks, and they're used for stenciling. So you can do sponging in the centers. You can, take the blending brushes and you can blend the ink. You can use the spritzers. And what happens is it's a stencil basically. And when you pull it away, this design appears on your paper. But we're going to emboss with those too. So let's tidy up our little corner here, and I think I'm going to put that over here with this pile. Okay, the other thing that I want to show you is that I'm going to be using a tag topper punch on all of these gift tags that I'm making. The one that I'm going to be using is this one here, but we also have another one that's very similar. And so I did list it at the bottom of the supplies. So let's look at the measurement supply list, which I actually, you know what I did this time, you guys? I printed it on paper, but I'm also going to bring it up on the screen just so that you have that. But this is something that you can actually print off for those of you that are newer to my lives. When this video gets connected to my blog post in an hour from now at 12:15 p.m. Central Time, you're going to be able to click on the link that's in the description. It'll take you to my blog, and you'll be able to scroll down to where it says PDF tutorial. It's not really a tutorial, but it's got images, measurements, and supplies, and you'll be able to take and print that off, okay, if you'd like to. Oh my gosh, my head is really covering it up because I forgot to shrink this a bit. Oh, you can't shrink it that much. You won't be able to read it. Hang on, let's do a little maneuvering of my head. I'm a pinhead. I'm really small now, but that's okay. So the gift tags and embossing with folders, masks, and dies is the name of this class today. You can see that I took the photos and I actually labeled them this time. The top tag that you see there is tag number 5, and then we have tags 1, 2, 3, and 4 in order. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I refer to them in the measurements up here, that's what you're going to look at is the pictures over here. The supply list is longer because we are making 5 different quick tags. So you can see that there's lots of different things in there. But the tag measurements are all pretty basic. They're 2 inches wide because we're using them in that punch. And then they vary from like 5 inches long to 6 inches long depending. But you can make them shorter or you can make them longer just depending on what is pleasing to your eye. Okay, let's move that off my screen. I don't need to see that right now. Okay, I think we're ready. We're ready to roll. So, let me grab the first set of supplies that we need. Okay, let's take the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, bring that in. So here is that beauty. And I'm going to zoom out just a tad. I'm going to make my head a little bit bigger. Oh boy. Those of you that read lips, you'll want to have my head a little bigger, right? Okay, so here's the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And here are the platforms. So let's just do some basic embossing with this folder. And this one comes from the Wintry 3D Embossing Folder Pack, which is a set of 2. You get this kind of a pine branch look, and then you also get the snowflakes. So let's start with the snowflakes. And let's just put our piece of cardstock in there. I'm going to position it so I can see. You know what? Let's do this first. Let's punch it. So here's the punch. This punch is different from the other one in that it has a place for 3 different size cardstock pieces to go in. So you see how it frames the 2-inch wide piece? You can also put a piece in there that's 1.5 inches, and you can put a 1-inch piece in there. But you can also put anything in between as long as you're willing to just kind of have this stick up a little bit when you're doing it. So this punch is called the, Delightful Tag Topper. Did you see how I was stalling there? So we're just going to go ahead and punch that. And it punched off just about 1/8 of an inch at the end. So now our little piece of paper here is, instead of 5.5 inches long, it's 5 3/8. But that doesn't matter because it's a tag. So now what we'll do is we'll position it in here so that we can see, I got to make sure that my impression, so there's the snowflake, and it's going to impress in this way. So I want it to stick up and out. So I'm going to turn it, I think, because I'm trying to match it up to the other one. You guys know me, right? So we're going to turn it like that, and I'm going to emboss it. So I've placed it in there. Now the sandwich that I need is the platform. Get rid of this. I'm going to put a cutting mat in there. No, do I? Do I put a cutting mat? No, I don't. I don't think I do. Hang on a minute. There's too many sandwiches to memorize. I don't put a cutting mat in there. I just put the folder with the paper in there and number 4. So it's the platform, the folder with the paper, and number 4. And you always want to guide your embossing folders in seam first. It's just a little bit safer. So you can see I aimed it with the seam going first. Now when I lift up, I've got my embossed design like that. It's such a great way to get that impression into the paper. It's a dry embossing technique. Remember years ago when we had the brass stencils and we'd have to take the stylus tool and do all that? Well, you don't have to do that anymore nowadays. Okay, so that's ready. So let's just shove this aside for a second. Okay, so again, that was platform. Then it was the embossing folder with the paper inside. And then it was the number 4 plate. These little embellishments here are called Elegant Faceted Gems. So we're going to take our tool. You can grab a scissors or just use your fingers. And we're just going to grab a large one. We're going to stick it in the center of that large snowflake. And we're going to take a smaller one and stick it in there just to give it a little sparkle. Oh, I should zoom in. That's really far away now. We'll have to go in and out today. So there's the sparkle. And then we're going to take another piece of paper because you could write on the back or the front of this, but it's kind of bumpy. So I like to do my tags with either an extra layer that's been placed on the back side so I can sign it to and from. Or you can also take and do something a little more decorative by having a piece that can kind of separate from the rest. That way this piece can be used over and over again. So if you're giving the gift to somebody, you can say to them, hey, save the tag, just rip off the back and use it again. We're going to bring in some pretty ribbon. This is our Pool Party sheer ribbon. So again, if you don't have time to do all this before, purchase this and then, you don't want to expedite an order, but you can use these ideas on supplies that you already have. Simple, easy tag. I'm just going to angle cut because that's very aesthetically pleasing. And then I am going to just put one end in. We're going to pull the two ends together. This might be a little long. And then we're going to take the two together as if they're one piece of ribbon, and we're just going to do an overhand knot. So we're just going like this, and that'll keep the tag from slipping out of the ribbon. So it's like it's one piece, and I'm going to cinch the knot down. Sometimes you have to kind of shimmy it. I'm going to cinch that knot down, and that is going to be, there we go, Rachel. So that is going to be able to be placed onto our present. You can stick it underneath the bow of your present and have these things laying loose. You can stick it on and have this become the actual ribbon on the present. It's super simple to make a very pretty tag with embossing folders. Let's take and move these out of the way now, and we're going to bring in the other embossing folder. So this is the one that matches up with it. So I'm going to go ahead and emboss that. And again, on embossing folders, you have a part that sticks up, like this is the design part that sticks up, and this is the part that goes inward. You can feel it. So if you want the part, like if you have a certain side of your paper, you'll want to keep that in mind. This would be the front of my paper if I want the impression to push out and up, okay? So we're going to stick that in. We're going to bring this back over. It's the same sandwich, and a lot of you remember what that sandwich was. Here we go. We have the platform, we have the 3D embossing folder with the paper inside, and we have number 4. We'll crank it through. We'll come up with this beauteous design. Super simple. So yes, we have craft colored paper. The craft colored paper is found in the mini catalog. It's going to carry over, which means it's going to remain available to purchase. So it's 6x6 size. This piece is 2 inches by 6 inches, or it was to begin with. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take these dies. Where did I put them? Here they are. The dies that I first showed you. So these dies are called Christmas Pinecone dies. And I have to have them on 2 of my Stampin' Storage magnetic sheets here, don't I? So you get this one here, which is obviously finer, it's more detailed, and then you get this one. And when you layer them over each other, you get this, it looks like a 2-stepped die. Same thing with these pine cones here. So you have your solid background and then you have your detail. So what I've done already is I've done some die cutting for us. So with die cutting, and I'll demonstrate that later. But with die cutting, you got to have your scraps. So I didn't put any measurements out for these because it just depends on whatever scraps you have sitting around. So we've got all of our pieces here. And this one I already cut into to make the first one. So we're going to make another version of it, but I just kind of thought I would bring it out somewhat in place here still. This is the section I cut out for the sample one that's already finished. All right, so scraps, you die cut those, and then you take and pick out which section you like. And I think I'm going to use these fun little pine cones here. It's a cluster of 3. And when you cut, you just cut in between so that it looks like it's still usable for the other, you can get lots of different cards out of one of these sheets, right? One of these die cut pieces. So let's do the same thing here. We've already kind of cut part of it apart. And there's that. Okay, so these are going to get glued over the top of this. Oops, we don't need that little piece. So let's come in with our silicone mat. Now, silicone mat, they're very staticky. They get a lot of lint and cardstock things on, you know, little bits and pieces of stuff. So if you have one of these kinds of things in your house, super simple to just clean them off lickety split quick, right? And I just do that before I put glue on them, because I want to make sure that I'm not getting a bunch of dust in my glue. So it's just called a lint roller. We're going to grab our multi-purpose liquid glue, and we'll use one of these mats just for gluing. The other one is going to do some miracles later on. Okay, so here's this. We're going to grab a sponge, and we used to sell them, but you can find them, I'm sure, like on Amazon or, you know, a simple crafting supply store or something. You just want to grab like a sponge, or you could even use like, gosh, you could use like a tissue or something, right? And then you take the rest of your silicone mat or scrap paper or something. So we're going to take and glue this onto the other piece. And for me, it's just quicker and easier for me to do this kind of adhering for my detailed dies. I prefer this. We do have the adhesive sheets that you could put onto the back of your cardstock before you do any die cutting, and then you have like a sticker that you create afterwards. So there's that so far. I just kind of layered it on top. We'll do the same thing with these. Now that area of my silicone mat already has glue on it. So I'm going to come over here to a cleaner area and just put a little sponge glue on that. Doesn't have to be everywhere, just enough to get you by. Do the same thing with this piece. Boy, I have a lot of little stray fuzzy pieces sitting around my house here. You know what it is? It's winter. It's winter. Are you guys getting dry skin? And like my scalp feels dry lately, and my fingers. The older I get, the more I have like Velcro fingers when I feel dry, and my nails are a complete dry mess all year round now. It's fun. It's fun getting old. So there's that. And then, because these pieces are just solid on the back, we can take and just put the glue directly on there. We don't need a whole heck of a lot, but just enough to catch it onto our die cut pine branch section here, or whatever you want to call this. I don't know what these are called. Fir, pine. You guys know that I love, even though I love floral things, I am not smart when it comes to names of the things that grow. I love the color green. I love leaves. I love everything that grows, but I don't take the time to learn what they're all called. I know, it's so sad, Rachel. So sad. Okay, let's grab another piece of 2-inch wide cardstock. This is our basic white again, and we're going to pair that with our craft paper like this. So this time when we pair it, we're going to pair it with a different kind of ribbon, twine, whatever, because I want you to know, again, don't feel like you have to buy all this stuff. I'm showing it to inspire you to use the stuff that you have, because we are just is it less than 2 weeks away, you guys? It's coming up. So what I do is I take and I cut into my spools so that I can just kind of, that's like the thread trick, right? My mom was a sewer, so I kind of know that little trick there. You make a little niche there, and then it allows you to kind of to have like a place for that thread to sit without having to tape or anything like that. So again, I'm just putting one end through. I'm going to tie this time though as if I have 2 strands. So I am tying a bow. You could tie a knot first and then a bow, but I find that my bow lays funny if I tie a knot first and then a bow. It's up to you, however you want to do it. I do have a video on tying knots and bows, but it's like a long time. I made it a long time ago. So I'll have to find that and link it. But there we go. So we have our We have our bow at the top of our tag. And then these guys will just go on with dimensionals. So have you noticed? Okay, the name of my blog, my website is Stamp Your Art Out, right? Have you seen any stamps yet today? I don't have any stamps for you in this video. Are you like going, oh my gosh, Rachel, what happened? Yeah, there's no stamps today. So there we have our place where we can write on our tag. Here we have a reusable tag, just a decorative piece. So there we have another one. Okay, let us go on to, I'm sorry, I'm just organizing over here. Let's go on to the next one. So the next one, we're going to bring out the second silicone mat. And here it is. We're going to do a different sandwich this time because we're bringing in those masks. Let's bring in this mask here. Let's take and make a new sandwich. Again, Terry Smith, thank you so much for the conversation we had a few weeks back. All right, so the sandwich for this, and I want to make sure I have my little cheat sheet handy. It's going to be, there it is, number 1, number 3, the silicone mat, the paper, where's my paper? So we're going to do another piece of white. So the paper, and oops, how are we doing this? Silicone, paper, mask, and I want to, I'm going to try to line it. Rachel, you're not going to line it up the same way. That's fine. Fine. You're just not. Okay, so that's going to go on like that. I just want to have enough places for my embellishments later, you guys. There, we'll put it on like that. We have to adjust the paper. There we go. Okay, so it's 1, 3, silicone mat, paper, the mask, and then we need number 4. Okay, we're putting this over the top. This is the magic sandwich. Crank it through. Take this off. Take this off. And look what happens. Fuzz. Look what happens. I have fuzz all over my house. All right. There we go. So isn't that pretty? So pretty, right? So let's go ahead and punch that in because I didn't get that within the actual mask area. So you can see there's kind of that pressure from the outside of the mask. Okay, there's our tag. It's so cool, you guys, right? Gotta love the silicone. They're called silicone sheets. Sorry, I keep calling them silicone mats, but they're called silicone craft sheets. Okay, next, let's grab another piece of white. This is going to be similar to our first one. We're punching. We're going to put these two together. This time, we're using another ribbon, which is one of my favorites. Highly recommend this on your wish list. But we're going to do the ribbon a little bit differently. We're going to put it through both pieces, just one end. Again, just one end. Then we're going to bring these two pieces together. And because of the curve, I'm just going to make them kind of go like that. We're going to bring them together, kind of like we're folding them like that. We just fold it in half. I'm going to put this on top to hold it still. Then we're going to bring in some baker's twine. So I'm going to be using the white, although the Baker's Twine Essentials Pack has the white and the gray and the vanilla and the black and like a crumb cake color. So fun that there's so many choices there. I'm just going to cut a little bit of that. And then we're going to start from the back side. So I've got it behind the ribbon and I'm going to tie a knot like that. I'm actually tying a knot because I don't want this to move. And then I'm going to tie a bow. And there we have just a different way of adding your ribbon. Okay. And for the embellishments this time, a lot of you may have these because these have been around for a while. I'm just going to bring in the pearls. And there it is. A little take your pick tool. Use the gummy end to grab it and stick it on. And this one's going to look different than the one that's going to be in the photograph on my blog post, which will go live. Are the masks stencils, Virginia? Yes, they are. They are stencils. I don't know, they call them decorative masks. Let's grab a few of these smaller ones. Just kind of stick them here and there in the middle of the rest of these snowflakes that are on the surface. Looks like there's one up here that could get it. And again, simple, easy, but elegant. You don't have to do a lot to make a really, really pretty tag. Let's move these things out of the way and go on with another paper choice. I'm going to introduce to you a choice that you may not have thought of with embossing before. And I'm going to bring this in. But we're going to go back to the original original embossing folder. So our sandwich again is 1 embossing folder, paper within, and 4. This is vellum cardstock. Okay, so I've got it all sandwiched in there. We're going to crank it through. Hang on. Seam goes in first. It preserves the life of your embossing folders again. Okay, then, plus it's slightly angled there, so it goes into the rollers a little bit smoother. So this is what vellum does. Some of you may not have known that. It whitens where it embosses. So this might be a really beautiful alternative to the white paper if you want to get more of a varied look, but still have that white look, because you could put this against white paper and you'd still have that white on white look. You'd be able to see the printing to and from underneath here. It would be super elegant. But I want to show you a new paper. This paper will be available January 4th. It is called Simply Marbelous, and the reason why is because the other side looks like marble. So there's like a satin or that looks like satin to me, satin sheet look, or there's the marbled look, and it comes in lots of pretty different colors. I have to show it off to you, but where did I put it? It's on, oh, here it is. It's underneath. It was hidden. So it's called Simply Marbelous. The colors are Balmy Blue, Basic Gray, Blushing Bride, Bumblebee, Coastal Cabana, Flirty Flamingo, Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, Misty Moonlight, Pool Party, Smoky Slate, and So Saffron. Now, even though it listed like 3 different blues, it doesn't mean that there's 3 different variations of the blues. It just means that this sheet here has all of those blue colors in there. I know, right, Shirley? It's amazing. Right, Julie? So really pretty paper, but look at the way the satin sheet looks under the snow. It doesn't look like a satin sheet anymore. It looks like that's a wind blowing, like it's a wintry, I don't know, it just looks like it's supposed to go with snow, right? This is a really pretty side to have too. Either side works. And then of course you've got it in the gray tones. You've got it in, and here I'll show you the other side too. That's going to be the marble on my bathroom countertop. And then we have it in the green tones. Yummy. And we have it in the purple. And we have it in the yellow. And we have it in the pinks. So put this on your wish list and know that you don't even have to buy it, because celebration is around the corner again. Starting January 4th, you will be able to purchase, you'll be able to purchase $50 worth of product and get things like this and lots of other things for free. So that's Simply Marbelous. You won't be able to actually see it yet in the online store, but I wanted to share it with you. So let's go ahead and punch both ends. And this is going to be an even simpler way of adding ribbon. This is the way I love to add ribbon on almost all my tags. And actually, I'm not using ribbon. I'm going to be using the elegant twine again. So I'm using the silver. I think silver goes really well with snowflakes. So we're going to take this time and put two ends together. So I'm folding it in half. I'm going to bring the holes of my tag together and line them up. And I'm starting from the back side and I'm coming through the front. So you can see this is what I've got so far. Then I'm going to take these two ends and I'm going to bring them through that loop. This is a super fast way to add ribbon to a tag. And how fast was that to put together? You could sign it here on this paper. Notice that it's a little bit longer, like a ½ inch longer, so you could sign it down below, or you could take and sign it on that satiny backside. Okay, what are we going to do with embellishing this one? We're going to bring in the blue adhesive back gems because this is just so pretty against that vellum. And I'm going to, now I'm not going to try to fill in all of my snowflakes. I'm just going to, oh, this one's really stuck. There we go. I'm just going to take and put it on one of them. And then I'm going to do a couple that are just nearby, just for fun. Just like a fun little, ta-da, there's a focal point. All right, so that one. And then we have one other tag that I want to show off to you. And that one is going to be done with the dies. But let's first prepare our base. So we're going to punch through both of our vellum pieces and our white pieces. These tags are great. Tag punchers are great for making quick tags. Put it on your wish list for next year if you don't have them. Okay, so we have our paper pieces. We're going to emboss on this one, but this time instead of using an embossing folder, we're going to bring back those masks. The masks I'm going to use this time, though, are not the Adorning Designs decorative masks, which I think, am I correct, you guys? I think this one is on the retiring list. I think these are leaving us soon. But I'm going to bring in the ones that are in the annual catalog. They're called Plentiful. Oops, let me find the one I'm getting. Here it is. Plenty of Patterns Decorative Masks. That's the one we'll use. This is what else you get in this set. Like that and like that. So lots of different patterns. You get 4 patterns. And the one that was in the last one, sorry, I should show you those. So besides the snowflakes, these kind of go with the gingerbread sweet and peppermint sweet. See, that's like a candy cane looking one. And then you get this fun one here. So, all right. So back to this. So what's our sandwich? Our sandwich is 1, 3 silicone mat. Oh my gosh, I'm having the same problem I had last week. I need more water. And then we're going to place our paper, which is going to be our vellum this time. I'm going to place that down. And then we're going to put our stencil. And I think I'm going to angle this that way a bit so I can really get these detailed ones in here on the paper. And then we've got platform number 4. And we'll crank it through. Because these are not 3D kinds of masks, I mean, they're not super deep. They're not going to press into the paper real deep. So you're going to get a different look than you would if you were using a 3D embossing folder. But you still get that whitish outline a bit with the vellum. So there's what I got with that. We're going to keep this out here because we need to do our next set of supplies. So I'm bringing in this beautiful detailed die. And again, you can see that there's little veins in the leaves. So what happens is when you actually die cut your paper in here, sorry, there's little bits of pieces in there. When you die cut your paper in here, some of your leaves may get that die cut and emboss look, but some of them may not. So what's the sandwich for dies? We're going to do 1, we're going to do 2, that's the die adapter plate. We're going to do 3, this is our scratchy one. We're going to do our paper against our die, and then we're going to do another number 3. So first we're going to die cut. Okay, these are not like the hybrid ones where you can die cut and emboss at the same time. At least not with this little trick that I'm sharing with you today with the silicone mat. Okay, so I've die cut that, and I'm just going to check it by grabbing both number 3s, flipping it over, and you can kind of pull this away if you. I'm going to die cut it one more time, but I'm going to do it upside down, because that way the cut is going to be more direct in contact with the top roller of my machine. I just want to make sure I've really got all the details cut out of that. Oh yeah, that one definitely cut a little bit deeper. So you can see some of the scraps that come off on it. You can do that, or you can clean off your mats with a roller. That tool is definitely a handy tool to have in your craft room. Okay, so after I've got that done, we're going to leave it within this die. We're going to pull it out and we're going to redo the sandwich. Okay, so what's happened here though is I'm going to pull this away so you can see a little bit. You can see some impression of embossing, but not a lot. A lot of the leaves look flat. You see that one that's sticking out in the end there? It looks very flat. You don't get that vein going through the leaves. So the sandwich for the dies is slightly different for doing the silicone mat. Actually, it's not much different at all now that I look at it. It's a 1, then it's 3, then it's the, let's see here, 1, 3, die with the cardstock. Oh, Rachel. Oh yeah, upside down. Okay, die with the cardstock upside down. Then the silicone mat. This is a big die. Then the silicone mat, and then it's number 4. Okay. Now, if your die happens to come out of your paper comes out of your die, then make sure that you're using Post-it notes or sticky notes to kind of keep everything intact. So again, the sandwich was 1, 3, die upside down with paper that's already been die cut in it, silicone mat, then 4. We're going to crank it through. Now the silicone mat is putting pressure on it. You'd think it's going to cut into the mat, but that silicone mat is just like really impressive. Now do you see what happened here? Look at the difference. You can see just on the back side what has happened to the paper in there. So when we press this out of here, and we can just do that with our fingertips here, grab it, and I'm going to pull it away. Look at, you can see the veins of all of those leaves now. Amazing. We have lots of little papers left inside. So the difference is, and we're going to do it just with die cutting only this time. Oops, scratchy mat. So 1, 2, scratchy mat 3, paper with dies, and 3 again. Line it up, crank it through. And this time I'm going to pull it all the way out of here so you can see. There's the difference. It's a huge difference, isn't it? You guys, that is incredible what result you can get by just adding that different sandwich with the silicone mat. Okay, now silicone craft sheet, Rachel. Okay, yes. Now we're going to take and we're going to grab some of this. We're going to tie it through. So because we have products that are leaving us, it's called the last chance list. We have a mini catalog that's now retiring. You'll want to make sure that you're checking out the online store. you can click, you can go to my website at stampyourartout.com and click the shop button. There's also a shop button within the link of my video. And then you're going to just find the last chance list by going to the specials, what's new, something like that. There's like a category in the online store. You can find it that way pretty quickly. Check out all those items. If it's not in the online store, it has already retired. Some things have left already. In fact, as we're doing this video, maybe something is gone that wasn't gone earlier. Okay, sorry, I can fix that bow later. But check out all of those things, okay? So now we're going to take and we're going to cut carefully between all of these. We're going to grab a section of leaves that look like they go really well together, like this. We'll do the same thing where we put some glue on the back side and then we'll stick it up in that corner. Then we're going to take and we're going to bring in the wonderful gems which are retiring. I did not invest in any more of these and I only have a few left. Like there's just a few red ones in there and then some clear with gold. You can see that. But we have something in the annual catalog that's very similar. They're called genial gems. Now we don't have the clear ones in there, but you're going to get a similar look by coloring with a blends marker. So we're just going to take and color onto, and I can't remember which one. I think I used these. I'm just going to color over the top with our dark cherry cobbler. And how many did I do? I think I did 2 large and 3 small. And now we have something similar. Let those dry for just maybe like, I don't know, 30 seconds, a minute. And then we're going to come in and we're going to add those to our tag and get this kind of a result. So we have little berries in our holly leaves. I think they're holly leaves. I'm going to call them holly leaves. I don't know. But very pretty, right? There's the look you can get with that. Then you just take and add them to a present. And this way, if you're a paper crafter and you're doing your decorative tags, you just need to go and get like craft paper or, you know, something basic, like one color and a bow. Even if you want a bow, you could do like some kind of fancy ribbon on there or something too. But super simple to just add a decorative tag to your gifts, right? Fun and easy. All right, I'm going to zoom out a bit so you can see all the tags at once, and then we're going to do a prize drawing because I love to do prize drawings. So those are gifts that I'm actually giving this Christmas. I decided that I was going to get craft paper, and I think I got black and white. And then I'm just going to do a bunch of pretty tags on my gifts this year. There we go. Where's the other one? Here it is. And remember, the other one we didn't quite finish, that one there. But you can see all of those. Looks like a lot. I've already got 10 gifts covered if I finish that last one. I love doing paper crafting, and I'm sorry there's no stamping on these today. Sorry, I'm just doing one more little adjustment with my... There we go. Very fun. Did you have a favorite? I'd love to know if you have a favorite. Think of the things that you have in your stash. Think of, and as long as you have the silicone mat and the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and either dies, embossing folders, or the masks, you should be able to do something quite similar. So think of the products you have, think of the ribbons, think of the embellishments. Hopefully you'll be able to whip together some tags to do some of that last minute gift wrapping. We had prizes from last week. One of them was not claimed, so I'm going to go over to my computer and grab that name just to announce it one more time. I never heard from Carol Bates. Carol Bates, you have a Stampin' Pierce mat, and you have a pack of dimensionals that are in your name waiting for you for maybe a couple more weeks. After that, it goes back into my bin. So I have my third set ready to go for the winner that I'm going to show you in just a second here. And then Trish is going to draw a prize winner. So let me grab my screen here and we will show you. Oh, I think I have to show you the prize that Trisha's going to, so the winner that Trisha draws is going, oh, you're going to get a selection of things that are leaving. Okay, so let's go to my computer first. Get that out of the way. There we go. Here we go. Miss Tina Rogers, you are the winner of that third set of gifts from last week. You get the Stamp and Pierce mat, and you get a pack of dimensionals. Now, if you live outside the U.S., I do have tutorials as prizes that I could send instead via email. So, oh, you love the Pinecone one, Tammy. Good. Yay, it's interesting. I'm gonna have a fun time reading through this to see what you guys say on all that. Okay, and then for prizes this time, I am going to pull those out so you'll be able to see the different choices on that. It's a cleaning house time. So these are not all fresh and new full packs of everything, but like this one is. I never touched these. They're so cute, but I never touched them. These are the gingerbread and peppermint acrylic shapes. That's full. I barely use these, the subtle shimmer sequins. I didn't even make a shaker card out of those. Those are the subtle shimmer sequins. This I never opened. What the heck, Rachel? Oh my gosh, matte decorative dots. I have almost a full roll of this pool party striped ribbon because I think I used it on one card. Lots of this left too. This is our cherry cobbler gold ribbon. Here, I'll make these come out so you can see them better. So the prize winners that Trisha chooses gets to pick from these items, and you get to pick 2 things. This was used up probably a little bit, almost halfway, right? The cute stars. And the cute stars were kind of paired up with this Halloween paper, which I have probably a little less than half a pack left of. So if you choose that, just know it's not a lot, but there's still some really cute papers in there. I have the red sheer ribbon. This is our real red sheer. And then I also have about a half a pack of the gingerbread and peppermint memories and more cards and envelopes. Lots of different choices. So if you are one of the winners that Trisha has picked, she probably already picked them, then you get to pick 2 things. So you'll want to email me back at stampyourartout@comcast.net and let me know which 2 things you want. But you have to email me, you have to reach out to me, because I have no way of clicking on a comment or commenting from a live comment. Like, I can't do that. Hey, Brina, good to see your name. So I can only catch them while they're live and respond to them then, or respond to them if I do a screenshot later. So please, please, please make sure that you reach out to me if you're a winner. So I'm going to scroll. I'm going to go to my computer here and see if Trisha, yes, she has. All right. We have, oh my gosh, Kathy, you are so lucky. I think you just won recently too. So Kathy Coke, Coach Coke, oh gosh, you're going to have to tell me again how to say your last name. And then we have, it looks like Ilam San Martin. So congratulations to you 2 live winners. I think that's it as far as announcements go, except for the fact that next week, Naomi got her prize last week, yay! So for next week, it's smack dab in the middle of the holidays. Well, not really in the middle of the holidays, but I'm gonna be really wrapped up in preparing for Christmas. So I'm taking off next week, and that would be the 22nd? Yes. And then the week after that, I will see you again. So on the 29th, I hope you come back and visit me. Yes, the 29th, December 29th. Please come back to my channel again. And I'll have, of course, the invitation link to it up a couple days before, so you can make sure that you are ready to go. All you have to do when you're on a YouTube Live is just click on that link a few minutes before and wait for me to come to you. It's awesome. So December 29th at 11 a.m. Central Time. And I hope that you subscribe to my channel. You click thumbs up on this video. Make sure that you're commenting either during the live or after the live, because I love it when there's conversations going on. Have a wonderful holiday season if I don't see you next week. If I do, I will wish it to you again then. But yeah, it's time for busy stuff now. We're going to go finish our Christmas shopping. We're going to finish our Christmas cookies. We're going to finish wrapping. Lots of things to do. Have a great 2 weeks, and we will see you, oh my gosh, when? On the 29th, in 2 weeks. All right, bye everyone. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.